welcome everybody to some of my initial Battlefield 2042 Portal ideas. This is the new game mode that Battlefield and EA and DICE, or whatever they're called, Ripple Effect, whoever, is announcing out there. They released a new trailer. They are definitely on to something here. This is one of the best things that Battlefield has come out with. I got all these ideas flowing out of me now. These are the first ones I came up with. I'm sure I'm going to have more once we learn more about all the customizing that we can do with the Portal. But just so if you guys don't know, the Battlefield Portal basically is like mod tools for the game, so you can really customize. There's not an actual level editor, which would be you're able to manipulate terrain and build buildings and place buildings where you want. That's not what this is. The Battlefield Portal is basically all focused on gameplay, weaponry, vehicles, game modes, all that kind of customization, types of soldiers and everything. You can really remix all the assets. There's a little bit of scripting, it looks like, involved too. You can really customize this thing to your liking. So we don't know exactly what the options are going to be, but we are kind of getting a better idea now with this new trailer of the types of things you're going to be able to do. So without further damn ado, some of the ideas I'm coming up with. Now, all of these might not be possible when the game comes out. Like I said, we got to learn more. Most of these I think are going to be possible based on what we've seen in this trailer. I got like 15 ideas here. I want to make Battlefield 4.5 hardcore mode. Now, there's going to be Battlefield 3 assets in the Battlefield Portal. There's going to be Battlefield 2042 assets, of course, Battlefield 1942, Battlefield 3, like I said, and Battlefield Bad Company 2 assets. I'm seeing into the future, and I think they're going to add other games assets into it later. Maybe Battlefield 4, maybe Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5. But since there's going to be Battlefield 3 assets in this, my favorite Battlefield game as of this date, 2042 hasn't come out yet, so that's up for debate, but Battlefield 4 was my favorite. So what I was really kind of thinking DICE was going to do, or EA, is have a sequel to Battlefield 4 basically set in around the same time period. And we're getting a little bit more advanced with the technology, but that's okay. It's still modern, but what I want to do is have it be more grounded in the current day without robot dogs running around everywhere. We still don't really see that. It's a little futuristic for me. There's a lot of wingsuiting and flying around, stuff you don't really see on the Battlefield. But in Battlefield 3, that was pretty darn close for the most part to what you would see out there in Afghanistan or Iraq or Chicago, whatever. So what we can do is take those Battlefield 3 assets and turn it into Battlefield 4.5. Really, it's going to be better graphics. Battlefield 4 is basically Battlefield 3 with better graphics and a little bit more of weapon variety and vehicle variety. So we can do that here in Battlefield 2042 hardcore mode. What that is there's no mini map. You're going to be able to take away the HUD elements, the heads-up display elements off if you want to, like these modded servers and what have you. Everyone's going to be able to create their own customized server for free, and everyone can play everyone's different servers and customize game modes and everything else like that. It's going to be so fun out there. Great idea. Endless streams of community-driven content. That's what I'm all about, baby, with games like Far Cry 5 and other games where you can customize, get in there and create content from the community, can play those and keep the game alive, keep the game fresh, keep new content coming out, and great ideas come out from the community. So this is just a great move here. So we know we're going to be able to make a modern Battlefield 4 era, Battlefield 3 era hardcore mode with the Battlefield Portal. That's what I want to do. You can reduce the time to kill so the enemies aren't as bullet spongy. There's not going to be people running around, little Doritos on the mini map. See, I like hardcore mode because you don't focus on the mini map. You have to use your eyes and your ears to figure out where the enemy's at. Your health doesn't automatically regenerate, another pretty unrealistic thing. So I like the more realistic take in hardcore mode from Battlefield 4. I'm going to recreate it in 2042. If the developers don't want to do it, I'll do it. Fans of Battlefield 4 hardcore mode will appreciate it. I know I'm going to have a lot of fun in there. So that's my first idea. Let's move on. What if we did Spider-Man versus Batman, or a bunch of Spider-Man versus a bunch of Batman? Well, how do we do that? You give the Spider-Man a grapple and a knife. All right, I know Spider-Man didn't have a knife, but you know, that's as close as we can get. He's got to have some kind of weapon attacking ability, and the grapple will kind of serve as his web slinging like he does from building to building. You can do that now in the future of 2042 with a grapple hook. So those are going to be the Spider-Man. And then the Batman, what do they have? They have smoke and a knife, so they can get away, more defensive maneuvers with the smoke, and then sneak up around you, get you with the knife like Batman likes to do, throwing his little smoke bombs, and poof, oh, he's out of there. He disappeared. Where'd the Batman go? That's what we can do out here in 2042. I think that would be fun, man. Imagine 64 Spider-Men swinging around versus 64 Batman going up in poofs of smoke and everything else like that. That's going to be so much fun out there. Next up, we have Operation Night Trap. This is an idea I had where you're going to have one team that has night vision and claymores, and then the other team has flashlights and pistols. So you got one team setting up the claymores, and they can see where they're going to avoid the claymores, and then the other team is going to have flashlights but a pistol. So they got a different kind of ranged attack, but they got a downside to their squad because they're not going to be able to see too well, and they're probably going to be getting tripped up by these claymores left and right. So they got to search them out with their flashlight first. Okay, where are these things? Hang on now. And then you might get snuck up on with a knife attack from the claymore people, or they might surround you with a claymore when you're there with your flashlight there looking around. So I think that's a good way to balance it. The people with less attacking ability with the claymores, even though you can get a lot of kills picked up with placing down claymores, but they're going to be a little bit more sneaky, stealthy, kind of getting in and getting out, and then watching the damage happen when a dude with a flashlight comes wandering in with a pistol. But you don't want to get caught by them flashlight pistol guys because they have the ranged attack, so you got to get in, get out. It's going to be a fun little, almost like a little Splinter Cell type game mode. That's going to be a whole lot of fun there. Operation Night Trap coming soon, guys. Now I want to do an explosives only mode. You've got to. It's Battlefield. We haven't seen any actual detailed crumbling destruction that we're used to seeing from Battlefield 5, where you can really just bust a little hole right through a wall, open it up a little bit, shoot through that if you know someone's on the other side. We haven't actually seen any of that in any of these Battlefield 2042 trailers yet. That doesn't mean it's not going to be in it, but I was starting to get the bad feeling like maybe they're scaling it back and they're not wanting to show that because it's not in the game. If it's in there, you're showing us all kinds of other things, people getting hit in the face with defibrillators. At least show us a wall crumbling down. Yeah, we're getting these big set pieces falling over. We're seeing a little bit of destruction, but a lot of those look like big scripted events. I want to see the nitty-gritty details of this destruction. So if there's a whole lot of that in there, imagine a whole lot of explosives setting off these walls crumbling down. That's going to look amazing, all the destruction in rubble. So you only have rocket launchers, you only have grenades. Tanks, you could take them or leave them. Those are, I guess, are considered explosives, but you know, C4, stuff like that, just explosions going off left and right. That's going to be action-packed. It's going to be fun to look at, fun to play with as well. Now, this one is really exciting here. If we can make a whole new game mode, something we've never ever seen before, DICE might have to steal this idea. I'm thinking of something called Faction Wars. That's going to be 32 versus 32 versus 32 versus 32. That's 4 teams of 32, so we can have 128 players on one map in Battlefield 2042. Let's have 4 factions. So what that means is the tickets are going to be going down from one team, the other team, the third team, the fourth team. Now, if the third and the fourth team start losing too many tickets, and then 1 and 2 are about to get towards the win, if the third and fourth team gets so low on tickets, there's going to be a team captain randomly assigned. I want there to be alliances you can make. You guys are dwindling in the third and fourth teams there. Separate teams, you were fighting each other, but now you can make a truce, and now it becomes one bigger army. So maybe an army of 20 now versus an army of 10 and 10 to take on the bigger teams, and then that way the tides of war start changing. Maybe a better name for it would be Alliance Wars or something else like that. So if the other team says, you know what, yeah, we want the help, or they might decline the alliance invitation, say, no, we don't want an alliance, we want to stomp you out, and we think we're going to be able to take down the other team even though our numbers are dwindled. That's going to be up to the team captain who was randomly assigned after each round. That's going to have to be a one lifer game mode. Once your player dies, you're out. Another game mode I came up with, this one's hopefully going to teach the community out here, the ones that don't know, how to play the effing objective. This one's going to be called PTFO, and the player will self-destruct if he doesn't earn capture points. So if he's not going after flags and he's just trying to set up on a hill way off, god dang, across the 128 player big old level with a sniper rifle, not doing nothing and missing the whole game, he's going to end up destructing himself out there and getting taken out of the game. So that will influence these players that aren't doing much of nothing to actually get into the action, start capturing flags, so the game can be played conquest mode. It's called like it's supposed to. You're supposed to capture flags in conquest mode, not sit there like a lump on a log and not do nothing out here. And then I get frustrated because I'm doing all the work. I'm capturing all the flags. Yeah, I still lose, even though I'm putting in as much work as one can humanly possibly put in because my teammates aren't helping me out. This time, if they don't help out, they're going to blow themselves up and they're going to be out of the game. So you better play the objective. That's what that game mode is all about. Teaching people play the effing objective, guys. Another game mode here, vehicle jousting. I'm thinking rocket and C4, heli and sniper rifle. You got two sides and you got to mount up on a vehicle. You got a person riding shotgun with maybe even a shotgun as well. Maybe a shotgun on a Jeep or something else like that. And you just start at two ends of the map and just vehicles just going at it. And then the people on the backs there are having to shoot from the vehicles. Maybe you can lock down their position. Honestly, this is the kind of really like detailed stuff I'm not sure if they're going to allow us to do. Can you lock a player's position to a seat in a car so they can't just get out and play a normal round of Battlefield with the rest of the time there? I want them to have to actually go at it in vehicles head to head like a game of chicken. But this is jousting because the players are, instead of riding horses, they're riding vehicles, and instead of the long pole, they got maybe a long sniper rifle to shoot at each other as they're going at each other. A little idea I had there. I thought it would be fun for a little bit there. Next up, Big Brothers in Arms. This is a play on words here. Brothers in Arms being the World War II HBO show, great show, mixed with Big Brother, the CBS show. One of my favorite shows, very strategic, almost like a game of chess. So what this would be is like a Big Brother style elimination challenge where you pit people up against each other there and they got to win to be safe, otherwise they're going to be knocked out of the round, with a challenge of blowing up the AI soldier that's in the building there. Whoever gets him with a grenade first, then he's the head of household, which means he has safety for the next round. And there's different progressing rounds in this game, and you got to try to be the winner to gain safety. And if we can get this detailed where we can start voting people off who we don't think are pulling their weight on our teams and actually eliminate people that way, that would be so awesome. But we'll see here, guys. Now, another idea, I want to have permanent conquest flags. I'm starting to get sick and tired of playing conquest where I'm running back and forth. I go across the map, capture a flag. By the time I capture that flag, the flag I just came from that I had captured is no longer captured. So it's a game of running back and forth constantly. Or you can sit and defend a flag, sure, but sometimes, I'm not going to sit here all day and wait for someone to roll up here while there's other flags that are being captured by the enemy team. You got to stay on the move, but the back and forth, and gets a little bit like feeling like you're just running on a treadmill. You're doing a lot of running, but aren't really going nowhere. Once you capture the flag, you keep that flag for the whole game. Just got to really make sure you get to them flags first right off the bat. But with these larger levels, I think there's going to be more flags to be captured. You're going to have to really be strategic about what flags you capture. If there's a point that, you know what, that's a really good defensive position here. Okay, I want to lock off this side of the map with these two flags. Let's go for those first because we're not going to be able to get them back. And if the other team gets them, they got them for the rest of the game. So that's what I'm thinking with that. I think that's going to be a great addition to Battlefield. Next up, Autobot Wars. So this would be auto turrets, which we saw there's going to be in the game with certain classes, versus robot dogs. They're AI and they just go at it. Another really cool game mode I think would be great is a VIP game mode. So kill or protect the VIP, which means after every round, a randomly selected player is going to be designated as the VIP. And if the other team takes him out, they win the round. So you got to try to protect the VIP, set up a perimeter. That would be so fun in game to really, okay, let's set this dude up in this building here, and we're going to have guards at the doorways and just hold off this building so the other team can't get in here to capture or kill our VIP. So, and then the next round, a new VIP is selected, and you better defend yourself or you're going to lose the round. I love that, and I want to see that in Battlefield. Another one here, Roadkill City, transport vehicles only, no weapons. So the only way to get a kill is if you run somebody over. It's going to be like Mad Max out here, just crazy vehicle action, and you better not get out of your vehicle. But if you flip and damage it up, then you're going to have to get out and you're going to be roadkill probably. So I think that'd be a whole lot of fun there. Roadkills are so satisfying in Battlefield to get, and I want to get a bunch of them with a new game mode that's dedicated to roadkills. Next up, one life, one knife. So setting up these game modes as one lifers make things really super intense. You you gotta really be strategic. Every moment matters because it could be your last in that game mode. So if everyone has knives and you have one life, that could be fun, or really just any one life game mode, but I like the sounds of one life, one knife. It kind of has a good ring to it. And everyone's going to be going at it, trying to get knife kills and shank everybody, get dog tags out there. And then as your team starts to dwindle, you got the advantage, and you might be a team of 5 left and there's 50 people versing you, and that's going to just look awesome in the game. 50 people coming pouring out towards you, and you got to try to scramble and outrun them. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. Next up, snipers versus rockets. You've heard of shoddy snipers in games like Halo, this and that, but I haven't seen a whole lot of sniper versus rocket action. I think that would fit well in Battlefield as well, with the big maps for the snipers. They got the range, and then the rockets for the destruction, and they got some range on those rockets too, so I think that's going to be really fun. Just change things up, switch things up a little bit, change your strategy up that way. This next one's going to be called car bombs. Transport vehicles in C4 only. Some people call it jihad jeep and this and that. Some servers ban it. I've seen it. Hey, no C4 jeeps, no kamikazes, no none of this. Well, you know what? This is going to be for my people that want to do that. They can go off and play it here and do it here. Strap C4 to their 4x4s or whatever and launch them into people and detonate them. It looks awesome in the game. So let's not ban it. Let's encourage it here with car bomb mode. And now, last but not least, I'm going to have a lot more ideas coming. Probably after I make this video, I'm going to come up with 15 more, but I can make another video. So leave a like, comment, and everything else like that. Now, this last one is going to be called the Iron Dome game mode. This is going to be mortars versus auto turrets. This is inspired by the Palestinian versus Israeli conflict. Terrible situation going on over there. In real life, they're launching weapons at each other. It's terrible. I do love war video games, but I hate war in real life where actual people's lives are negatively affected. But I like getting creative with it in the game here, because they have a thing called the Iron Dome in Israel, where if Palestine launches rockets, these other rockets just get sent up and just take them out right away. That's why I'm calling this mode the Iron Dome, because we have auto turrets, anti-air turrets, and everything else like that. So auto turrets are going to be like the Israeli side in a way, and the mortars, things just being launched over, are going to be kind of like the Palestinian side. It makes sense to me, and I think it would be a lot of fun to do in a video game, not in real life. We need peace in the Middle East and everywhere else like that. So those are game modes that I came up with. Now, once we get in there, like I said, I'm going to come up with a lot more. I hope Battlefield and DICE and everyone can keep these servers together and running smooth. We still haven't seen a whole lot of gunplay, how smooth this game is going to run. We haven't seen the destruction in there. So if they can get all the ingredients that we're expecting, plus some, and they can keep it together with all of these free servers that people are going to be running, and I feel like it's going to be a lot for them to handle, but I think they can do it with all the help they're getting from all these other teams that they've brought in to all work on the Battlefield 2042 game. So I think they can pull it off. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't be introducing this. It might be a little rocky at the start, like Battlefield launches are known to be, but I have faith that this is all going to come together, and it's going to be the best thing we've ever seen in a Battlefield game. I can't wait. Check these ideas out. You'll probably see them once I make them, or if it gives you an idea that you want to try to improve on, do that as well. And until next time, this has been Rusty Pfluger, over and out.